Does that sustainable PPC growth looks like in the current ecosystem?
So that is the first thing what people do when it comes down to strategy.
What type of defensive campaigns a seller can create on their account?
So that's why I'm saying I would highly recommend brands to invest in brand defense campaigns.
How can I optimize my Amazon account or Amazon PPC campaigns to capture all the extra traffic that's coming out without any leakage?
If you see that actually it's not making any sense for you or you're losing money.
How does it look like, the perfect campaign structure in your opinion?
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome back to Ecom Squeezed. I'm your host, Sebastian, founder of Retail-Outsource. And we have lovely Noemi here for the second time, not the first time, the second time. She's really good at PPC, and that's something that we need to look into, and we are going to discuss it in depth today. And we have a topic today that we are planning to discuss. But first of all, let me welcome Noemi.
Thank you so much. Always such lovely presentation. This is Noemi. Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate that. How is it going?
Great. So let me start with your background. We know we have discussed this before. If you can just viewers, maybe they are watching it for the first time. So if you can give us a background for the viewers who are listening for the first time.
Sure. So I am Noemi. I'm the co-founder of ScaleWave. We are an agency specialized in Amazon PPC. As you put it very, very nicely, appreciate that. So we started our journey in 2020 when we launched our very first private label product in the pet niche. It went really well. I called myself the first time, one of those people who they have success right away and then they believe that the success is because of them, when in fact it's like things just work out, Long story short, learned a lot during the whole product launch phase because we did it by ourselves. We did not outsource anything. So I learned PPC, I learned SEO, I learned how to design my pictures, I learned all the back end, the front end, so everything what needed to be done to understand PPC, product development and shipping and everything, And during that process, what I realized that I really like that. Amazon PPC still was one of those things that I was really not good. I came from music industry. I had nothing to do with numbers. I was like, that's really not my strength, But I noticed that if I just put my mind to it, I really understood it has some similarities with music, right? And then I was like, okay, so I can really do this. It's just, this is spreadsheets, is not the notes, That was the only difference. And apparently after 2 years, just people were asking me about, hey, how does this work? And how did you learn Amazon so well? I was like, probably because I didn't know so well Amazon and Amazon PPC. That's why I put so much effort into learning it. And then I soon realized, hey, actually, I became really good because I invested a lot of time in it. And from there, basically also the agency started that, hey, can you do this for me? And I'm like, sure, I can help you with that, So long story short, after 2.5 years now, we are here on the podcast with you discussing Amazon PPC.
Great. Nice intro. And Noemi, first of all, you mentioned in a lot of podcasts about scaling brand sustainably. Mm-hmm. What does that sustainable PPC growth looks like in the current ecosystem? I know the PPC, the bids are quite high. It's very tough for sellers. So what will be that sustainable PPC growth looks like?
So sustainability simply means that you can do it long enough so you're going to stay in the game. And here what I'm talking about, there are a lot of strategies and we can go into this later on during the podcast, but there are a lot of strategies when it comes down to PPC. Now, the sustainable way is going to be how quickly am I going to gather the data and how quickly am I interpreting it and how quickly I'm going to, whatever I learned and paid for and invested for, am I going to implement within my strategy, right? So sustainable basically means is that hey, try to find those spots where you have advantage of, either over your competitors, either someone else is not doing that type of ads that you are doing, either something that someone else is not doing, or especially your competitors are not doing, where you would have an advantage. So it's profitable for you to invest more into that. And to be super precise here, back in 2020 when we started, and I think in 21, something like, or 2020 even, sponsor brand video ads came out. And it was all this fuss about sponsor brand video ads, but no one was really doing it. And that was our leverage. That was our competitive advantage of, all right, so no one is doing it. And honestly, back then, I knew I didn't knew how it has to or how it's supposed to look like. So I was like, hey, I'm watching all these, cat videos on TikTok or on Instagram. They're just going to push it because I have a cat, and they are going to push it in my feed. I'm like, how about we are going to create something that is very similar to that? Because I didn't have the reference of what good looks like. And I was like, this is something that I would relate to. So my audience also would relate to it, And then I created a video just like that. And that video actually generated us lots of sales, lots of cheap sales, 10% ACOS, 20%. So it was it was a competitive advantage because not many people were doing. And second, it was out of the box thinking. It wasn't like, this is how it's supposed to be the video, So those are the points that I am mentioning when it comes down to sustainability, knowing exactly whatever someone else is doing, seeing how can you replicate that cheaper or wherever you would have an advantage to do it. So that's kind of the gist of it.
It's a very good answer, Noemi. And for a seven-figure seller, what will be the ideal framework look like, for the PPC side if you're onboarding them, for example?
That is a deep question. That is, It really depends on what their competitive advantage is. So, for example, what we love to do, and here doesn't really depend on 7-figure, 6-figure, 5-figure seller even. What is your current competitive advantage? Most sellers, especially when they are though at 7 figures, their attention is going to be split on so many places, right? So what I noticed on my end, especially to get to 7 figures, rarely are they going to get with the one product to 7 figures. So they're going to have multiple products, and then they're going to lose sight of which product actually is profitable for me, and then which product is actually something that I should be investing advertising on. And this is something that right now that we're talking here is like, this is easy for us because we understand that that is normal, But what I'm seeing on my end, brands who are even further away, they lose clarity just because there's so many new things that they are doing and so many, literally, their focus and attention is being split on. They still have all these hats, they have employees underneath them, they delegate things, but they're still watching over everything, So that is the first thing what we would do when it comes down to strategy. Identify the products that are bringing most of the revenue, identify if those products are profitable or not. Because it can be that a product, it's bringing most of the revenue, but actually it's not profitable. If the product is not profitable, we would look into, is it an option for us to make this profitable or not? And giving you a super clear example, we just had an audit a few months back, and it was a super kind gentleman, and they did a very, very cool thing. They bought out their competitors as well, so they dominated the marketplace, and it's like, wow, this is such a great idea, But then when we look at the numbers, their profit margin, it was very tiny. It was 10%, 20%, something like that. So, which means that the tacos, technically, it should be like 20%. So you're break even, And when we looked at the numbers, we were like, you're doing millions, but we cannot make this profitable unless you're going to change the price of your product, And they were already at the $100 range when their competitors were selling for 20, So those would be next things to discuss to strategy. But boiling down, simply find the best product that is selling really well for you. Look it up. Is that profitable? Is not? And then what is the profit margin? And then 3, whatever already works for the product, just zoom out and see, hey, can I duplicate this? Can I see if I'm doing ads in sponsored products, can I bring them into sponsored brands, sponsored brand videos, sponsored display? So can I replicate success, And I know that this seems very simplistic, and especially when I'm talking to brands, like, this is what we are focusing on and we're really good at it. It's like, I hope that you're going to bring me, like, I don't know what kind of strategy. Like, yes, I am when we are there, But these are really, really the steps, And it seems simplistic, but it's harder to achieve than you would believe, because that is just like shattering, or how do you call it? All their beliefs that it has to be sophisticated. It doesn't. You just have to play the game where someone else is just really, really good at, but you can become better, So that would be the approach, strategy-wise.
So, yeah. And, this is something that I've seen in LinkedIn and other YouTube as well. The sellers, they are running after hacks and tricks and stuff like that. Maybe they don't have a strategy, for example. So what would be your advice to those sellers?
Yeah, so I hear you, and I'm not thinking of you as a seller right now. If I'm speaking to you, I'm thinking to you as a business owner. I'm a business owner. I literally just started to spend less and less time on LinkedIn, where I'm spending a lot of time on, right? Because what I noticed is that a ton of information bombarding me that is giving me FOMO. So I'm thinking of you as a business owner that probably this is also on your end that is giving you so much FOMO. When in fact, if you take a step back, so everyone is going to praise all these new things and new gadgets and new Amazon is just launching so and so on. And I'm not saying close your eyes. I'm saying put it on a to-do list and look at it when it's not high priority right now because it's in your feed, because what is going to happen is that getting back to attention and focus, I'm seeing this on my end. Again, I'm thinking as a business owner because sellers or brands are also business owners. They are also prone to believe that whatever is out there, they're going to believe that, hey, that is true. I should give it a chance. When in fact, everything is marketing, right? And marketing, what it is, it's triggering you into clicking, buying the stuff. And by buying the stuff, I mean here, buying your time with that stuff. So you are going to spend your time on something that might not be even relevant for your business. So I think that is not very commonly discussed, but I believe this is the biggest thing that I'm seeing. And this is not something that only I am preaching, Alex Hormozy, I'm just like, I've been with their content for the past 2-3 years, something like that. And even such a big business owner, that I'm looking up to is saying, hey, FOMO, this is something that I had to work on. And I was like, if he's thinking that way, who's super achieve, like, why do I think that I am the special egg of that? I'm going to nail it, So kind of like, I think that is one of the most important things. Put it on a to-do list. And if it's not anymore high priority for you after 1 week, it means that probably it was not urgent, If after 1 week it's still a priority, it's still like, hey, I want to try that out. I say, yes, go for it, invest in it a few minutes, and then see if it works for you or not, And yeah, Sebastian, especially Amazon is bringing so many new features. And I'm saying that it's funny. The most important features that are actually making an impact, they are not advertising at all, which is like, I'm not sure like on your end as well, but probably you're seeing this as well. Everything that is super important actually makes an impact in your business. Brand tailored promotions being one of them, that it has been out there for the past 2-3 years. And now we're trying with the brands because we were just like messing around and like, oh, let's give it a try, and it works perfectly, So that's what I'm saying. If you are selling right now and if you're like a business owner, be super careful to where do you place your attention to, because you're not going to see it now. You're going to see it in 5 years. And yeah, I think that is really important that unfortunately not many people are talking about.
And Noemi, I want to pick your brain on, defensive campaign. There are different types of defensive campaigns that we can create. Yeah. And I have seen that a lot of sellers, they don't look into it. So if you can, start us giving what type of defensive campaigns a seller can create on their account.
First thing, so when we're talking about defensive campaign, we're talking about protect campaigns. Basically, we are going to protect our own brand and our own listings. Now, by doing so, there are a lot of talks that you should be advertising your own listings on your own listings or you should not, And here especially it's going to be applicable for brands that have multiple products or multiple SKUs, rather than if you have the one product, you cannot really defend it unless maybe if you're creating virtual bundles or like 2-packs, 3-packs or so on, so you're going to showcase those on your listing. But basically defense campaigns or protect campaigns, as I like to call them, are the type of campaigns that you are going to target your own brand name, your own branded keywords, and also your own ASINs. And that is going to be simply there for you to, whenever someone is looking up for your product, they are going to find you. They're going to click on you and buy your product. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I hear a lot of advertisers saying that brand defense campaigns, you should not run them. I'm here to tell you, like, I'm on your show, Sebastian. I'm going to share everything what I can in order to, hey, don't do the same mistakes that I did, right? In the same time, I'm also super fearless when it comes down to let's target those, because that's how we're making money, So that's why I'm saying that you have to be aware of that, because if you're not doing this for other brands, I mean, if you're not protecting your own product, someone else will, because you're at that small blip on the radar, now it's there, So that's why I'm saying I would highly recommend brands to invest in brand defense campaigns, because I know that I'm not the only advertiser who's going to do that, right? So that is kind of the answer.
And let's put a scenario where let's assume I'm running an influencer program or I'm running a TV ad. So I'm expecting a big volume of branded searches. Mm-hmm. So how can I optimize my Amazon account or Amazon PPC campaigns to capture all the extra traffic that's coming out without any leakage.
To clarify, is your question that should you be running also branded ads when you're running outside traffic or not?
Yes, all the traffic will be coming from outside. So it's mainly a branded search.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, so I still say, yes, you would still have to run. If you're running external traffic, run external traffic. But at the end, think of it this way. External traffic, just because you're running it, there's no guarantee for you that whenever someone is going to bring external traffic to your listing, right, someone is going to actually buy your product. So in that scenario, even if you would put the link of the actual product that you're selling, here I have the beautiful cat mug from my sister as like Christmas present. So let's say that this is my product. And even if I am bringing eyeballs to this product itself, so I have the direct link to the product. On this product, there are also competitors that are going to show up, right? So what I want to ensure is that no one else is going to take those places from my sales, because then actually it's even worse because you paid also for external traffic and your competitor converted on that. So I would still say, even if you would put the direct link, even if you're just redirecting to traffic to like, I am running ads for my branded name, I would still say do it, because otherwise what's going to end up is you finally converted them, they are in front of the door, but they're not coming in, so that would be my approach. And give it a try. If you see that actually it's not making any sense for you or you're losing money, rethink it. But so far on our end, as I was saying, this is a strategy that we're doing to gather sales that are cheap for us, for other brands. So if I am doing this, be 100% sure that also on your listing, just scroll down. There are other competitors on your listing. Sponsor brand video, sponsor display, or sponsored product targeting. So they are going to target you anyway. That would be my thought process.
True. We talked about defensive campaigns. Now I want to move into the offensive side. Mm-hmm. At what stage should sellers think about the offensive campaign? Is there any, you need to start with defensive, then move on to offensive? Is there any strategy that you normally execute?
Yes, sure. So usually I would do that strategy as well. So first off, I would stay the brand difference. So the protect campaigns, that's the first ones that I would start, even if no one knows your name. The second one, it's going to be the conquer campaign, which are the defensive campaigns, basically. So those type of campaigns are going to be for any product where you would have competitive advantage of. So either they have worse pricing than you, worse pictures, worse offer, worse delivery time, worse something. So you would have an advantage. Either it can be for you to bring additional traffic where already there is traffic. So what I'm saying here, you could piggyback on their traffic as well. So that could be also a good way for you to, for example, if they have a brand name that is recognized, and maybe there's not so much brand loyalty into it. Giving you a clear example, because we were just talking on the show, and if our viewers are watching me, I'm just sipping tea continuously because my throat is like gone almost. I was looking up these Halls cough drops, and I'm like, I don't have necessarily brand loyalty. I also like the Ricola ones, but I'm like, let's see what's out there, And then I was like, I was writing Halls, but Ricola was showing continuously up, and I'm like, they want me. I am valuable for them, and that's why I'm saying that the conquer campaigns are very similar to the defense campaigns, but we would be targeting their brand name, their listings, or even you have the option in category targeting when you're creating sponsored product ads that you're going to have, for example, just write Ricola inside, and then you're going to target all their products. So it's very similar to the protect, but on someone else's listings. That is the strategy there.
So the next one, let's assume they have good brand searches, their brand is famous and well known. So in that case, should they create a dedicated campaign just with the brand names?
Yes. So the way how we are doing it, was that the full question? Can I answer it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the way how we are doing it, actually, we are going to be very, very protective of branded versus non-branded, because what we are seeing on our end, non-branded is going to be way more expensive than branded. So in that scenario, yes, you should be creating your own campaign. And then when it comes down to strategy, actually, even in the campaign name, we would say these are protect campaigns. So it's going to be our own products there, our own branded terms, our own branded keywords. And what we're doing for the other type of strategies when it comes down to even like discovery campaigns, so broad match, phrase match, and so on, which is non-brand related, we would always add as negative the brand name, because we don't want to trigger false positives, because that is going to showcase that your ACoS is way lower when in fact it is not. So what we would do in that scenario, we would ensure that there's no searches that's going to come up for the brand name. I think that is important because, as I was saying, again, we did not know it. It's not intentionally done, but we noticed that even in the search terms that we did not intend it to have it for our own products, our products shown up. And then like, yeah, but that has a 2% ACoS. The campaign has 100% ACoS. That's going to bring us a false positive, So that's when we discovered, hey, we should be ensuring that the campaigns that we're running that are not branded keywords or not branded campaigns for the protect strategy, they are all negated in those campaigns.
And I want to talk about, Noemi, about the funnel, right? So we have the full funnel impression, clicks, share, and buy. So for example, for the top of the funnel, is there any specific campaigns that you use? Is that sponsored product or any other campaigns that you give priority to?
Yes. So for the top of funnel, we can run even sponsored display and sponsored brand campaigns. And here, just hear me out, just because they are, just a second. So it says reload site. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So just because they are not necessarily top of funnel, what you're doing actually, because I see that there are a lot of discussion about what type of campaign should you be creating to like get more traction. And it's like top of funnel. Even sponsored product can be a top of funnel campaign when your product is new, because what you're going to attract is clicks, maybe no conversions at all, but people are just going to check out your product. So I started to rethink what actually means top of funnel, in this case, because top of funnel can mean sponsored product ads that are not converting. Top of funnel also can mean like you're just bringing directly eyeballs, So basically when it comes down to that strategy, we are not so much about where are we bringing the strategy, but hey, do we want to bring eyeballs to the listing or not? And something else that can be done, what is considered top of funnel can be even a complementary targeting, let's say in auto campaigns, because you're not going to target your own products. You're not going to target products that are very similar to yours as well, but you're going to target something that is not necessarily your product, but someone else would buy it, right? So I started to rethink the way how people are putting that this is the type for top of funnel, this is the type for conversion. I'm like, yes, but if they're not buying, is it still, is it still a purchase? Is it leading to a purchase? I hope that answer.
I want to talk about CPC. The costs are going up, right? Crazy high.
Yes.
Is there any specific kinds of campaign that have lower CPC or any kind of match type that gives you lesser CPC? What's your experience on that?
Yeah, so this kind of change for the past few months, what I'm seeing so far, Amazon really started to favor auto campaigns, discovery campaigns. So auto campaigns, broad match, phrase match campaigns, even, they are going to be way cheaper if you're going to implement negatives. So if not, it's going to be super expensive still, because you're going to trigger irrelevant search terms or not highly relevant search terms. But so far on our end, what we're seeing, auto campaigns started to become very profitable for us. It really depends on the brand. Sometimes it also can be that you're going to have product targeting ads where you see that the CPC is very, very high on the keyword level. You would target the products, and the strategy behind is, let's say, what would be a keyword for this to find this product? Okay, black mug, maybe Christmas coffee mug? Is that?
Yeah, more specific. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in that case, what we would be doing is like Christmas coffee mug, and then you would look up everyone who is on the first page and they're showing up, right? And then you would take those products and you would add them as product targeting, in exact match. And in that case, what you would be doing is you are giving yourself a competitive advantage to see, hey, if I'm not going to use the exact keyword, but I'm going to use the products that are using that exact keyword that they are coming up on the top of search, for this specific term, am I still going to convert? Because at the end goal is, if there's conversion there, it's great. If there's not, try out a different strategy, So yes, discovery campaigns are working way better right now. Even catch-all auto campaigns. By catch-all auto campaigns, I mean you're just going to add in either all your catalog, either all your product line for one specific product, and just add a very low bid, 20 cents bid, up it, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. When you see that it's going to start to produce results, and then you can optimize the bids from there. But that is something also that we are seeing that is helpful. We also experimented, this is not AMC, but is audiences within the placement tab. Whenever you're going to create either sponsored product, either sponsored brand ads, audiences is something less added purchase or like considered or clicked. It's just one of those that it's working really well. There are 3 options, but this is added less purchase or something like that. I'm like, sorry, right now maybe it's just a fever that is kicking in and like it's not allowing me to like remember, but that is how it's called. That is the one that we're seeing on our end produce cheap sales. By cheap sales, I mean like under break-even ACOS, 20%, 30% ACOS. Yeah, those are the strategies right now that I am seeing that are working. Exact match campaigns are just, you're just paying to stay there on top of search and like to show up there. So you cannot.
The campaign, right, for the ranking, for example. If a client comes to you and say, okay, I want to rank on the first page. Now I'm only ranking on the third pages. I have like limited budget. I know it depends on the category, a lot of factors involved. But in that case, that's what that client wants, to rank higher using PPC. So how does you plan that in terms of PPC campaigns? What type of campaigns will you execute? How do you play it?
Yeah, so I love it. That is, I think, just because you understand the way how people think, because you said, this is my budget for it. I have a limited budget for it, but I do want to rank, It's like, all right, yes. And your CPC is $10. Like, okay, like, how are we going to go about that, So, yeah, so most of the time, whenever I'm hearing that you want to rank for that type of campaigns, what we would be creating is ranking campaigns, which basically means that you're going to create exact match. So it's either exact match product or exact match keyword match, And then you're going to bid competitively to show up on the first page. And again, there's no guarantee that you're going to rank, because what's happening most of the time, people assume that just because one keyword is super relevant or they think they're really relevant for them, they are going to convert and they are going to also stick there, which is not really the case. So when it comes down to ranking campaigns, I would be way more cautious to first off ensure that the product or the keyword that I want to rank for, first off, do you have a competitive advantage? Whenever, as I was saying before, whenever I was looking for Ricola in exact match,
Yeah.
I think it's like exact match, like Ricola, like the brand name, Sorry, it was for House and Ricola came up. So in that case, Ricola actually is paying a lot of money, so they are going to take out market share from their competitors, With ranking, it's exactly the same thing, because if someone sees that one keyword, it's making them money, they're going to invest even more in that, So first off, I would ensure that your product fits within that keyword. The easiest way to do that, for example, which was the keyword for the black coffee Christmas mug or black, Christmas mug. So I would go into incognito and I would look up what other Christmas mugs are coming up whenever I'm showcasing my product. Because if my product is $20 and it's maybe a premium product, or maybe it's larger, or maybe it has like funny design or something that is like catchy, versus there's a plain mug that is $2. Buyers going to prefer that product that is $2, or are they going to be convinced that my product it's the best shot for them, Because at the end, I think it's really important that we also believe most of the time, just because you want to rank, Amazon is going to rank you for it, And it's like, no, there's going to be clicks, but at the end, it might be that your competitor is going to take your sales, So that is in the scenario that you want to push to rank for a keyword where you don't have competitive advantage on. Now, when it comes down to ranking, and here you were talking about the seller. So if they have knowledge into what actually works into their search term reports, what I would do is let's go through together through the search term reports. First off, they should not necessarily know exactly what is going on there, because that's why they are hiring you. They are hiring strategists. They are not hiring someone who just execute on their strategy, right? So they should not be the strategists. You are the strategist. You are helping them. You're telling them, I hear you. In the same time, this is not working for you. This is data. Certain reports is showing you, you know. But let's go into the scenario where actually you generated more than 2, 3, 5, 10 sales for the specific keyword. You might be considering, okay, let's pull it into an exact match and see if I'm still going to convert for it and if I am going to still convert on the same placement that I previously converted. Because what can happen is that even if you're in an exact match, even if you're in an exact match, and you are going to be, let's say, $2, and you're showing up on rest of search or product pages, and you want to show up on top of search, you know, whatever you're going to gather is, again, false positives of you paid $20 and you did not convert it. When in fact, if you are going to look into the bid adjustment section and look into like what is going on, you're showing up on different placements. So first off, I would look into, is this keyword relevant for me? And if it is, and you have data that proves you that it is, can I replicate the same success that I had in my other campaigns, you know? So that is the way how we're going about ranking. When it comes down to, I want to push for this keyword and this worked for me and I have proof for it, that would be the third stage. And those type of campaigns would be called dominate campaigns. And they are what you're going to do. You're going to adjust placement modifiers to ensure that you're always showcasing either top of search, either rest of search, either on product pages, wherever you already successfully converted. And then the fourth step is going to be, will I stick? Because most of the time what is happening is that, and we had a very painful story about this, and actually this was for our own brand. What we did, we were looking into, okay, how can we strategize to rank the specific product for that specific keyword, you know? And sponsored brand video ad, it always triggered a sale. That specific keyword that was highly relevant for our product. And then we were like, okay, let's do some giveaway or something for this particular keyword. A quick note here, this is when it was still legal to do that. Now, don't try it, you know. But what we noticed is that even if those particular keywords were highly relevant for us, we were very competitive on the keywords, it just didn't stick, you know, and we invested so much money and we seen that if we are not going to do that anymore, people don't want to buy our product. We are not going to stick anymore on the 4th or 5th placement, you know. So I think the question should not be as much about, I want to rank for these specific keywords rather than, do you want to be profitable or not? Because at the end, we want to scale profitably because, you know, back when 2020, when we started Amazon and we just figured out, okay, hey, I actually need cash flow in order to get a new product, you know, because I cannot just invest, you know. If you don't have cash flow at the end of the day, no matter how much are you going to invest into ranking and all the latest strategies, there's no more. You're just going to be something that is burning money, you know. So I would be very cautious when it comes down to that. I would rather start also discovery campaigns rather than rank continuously. And this is coming from someone who the very first 2 years of their ads did only exact matches, to be upfront, you know. So yeah, that is the feedback there.
Great. You mentioned about catch-all campaigns, right, Naomi? So my question is that, you know, for catch-all campaigns for sponsored products, so can we use the same method for like a catch-all defensive campaign, maybe a list of ASINs with a very low bid, maybe another catch-all campaign for sponsored brand videos, again, with very low bids, and maybe another one for VCPM. Can we, the sellers, do catch-all in different types?
Sure. So we have a clear understanding what catch-all campaigns are. The voice is almost gone. Still not yet.
One more.
One more, yes. So we're clear on catch-all campaigns. Catch-all are automatic campaigns where either you're going to target all the 4 targeting types, which is close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements. Either you're going to have the catch-all as complement or loose match or substitutes or close match. So that is auto campaigns right now is enabled only in sponsored brand, in sponsored product ads. Sponsored brand doesn't have this. I would say closest to catch-all, but it's not a catch-all. It would be if you would be doing the sponsored product and it's going to be a product targeting and it's going to be not exact match, but the other one, it's skipping me. There's one more product type that is going to allow you to generate like different listings that are similar to yours. Sorry, like right now it's just skipping. So it's not the exact match, it's the other match that Amazon just like added again out of the blue. Yes, so catch-all basically is auto. So as much discovery as possible. Sponsor display doesn't has this. Sponsor brand, it doesn't has this.
So would you recommend like creating a separate campaign with a list of like relevant keyword, close match keywords, like, 300, 400 keywords, and put like a fixed bid on all of them, and then, run it on the background and see if it, catch something maybe on sponsored display or sponsored brand video stuff, all those campaigns?
Yes, those would be discovery campaigns though. So in this scenario, maybe we would have them in broad match. We would never add like so many keywords. And honestly,
Got it.
even now, there's so many like thought processes when it comes down to this. Try it and really bid very low and see if it works for you. My fear it is that if I have 300 keywords and if 300 times I get one click, it's going to eat up my budget. So I would rather have 10, 20 keywords that I think that are relevant for me, or 10, 20 products that I believe they're relevant for me, and that the bid it would afford, even if it's a 20-cent bid, it would afford me to showcase the product rather than just adding a ton of things and then figuring it out. You can, but always bid low. I would recommend there.
So my last question will be campaign structure. How does it look like, the perfect campaign structure in your opinion?
In my opinion, the perfect is whatever you define as being perfect, and perfect is whatever the strategy requires to be perfect. A catch-all campaigns, a perfect campaign, what it means is that you have all the 4 targeting types on, you're throwing in all the catalog or all the same products in the same niche, and you're letting it run. When it comes down to an exact match, perfect strategy is going to be, it's always the one product, and it's either the one keyword or very, very similar root keywords inside, and like 5-10 keywords. So you're going to allocate perfectly your budget only to that experiment. When it comes down to what else? Discovery campaigns, or especially discovery campaigns. A perfect campaign structure there, what it would be is that you're going to add, maybe if you have multiple products, and maybe if you have like other color mugs, not only the black one, but you have white, green, blue, whatever other colors are there within your catalog, you would throw in all those products, and then you will see which one actually performed best. Because it might be that either you don't know which is your best performing variation, either you have a variation that you never tested in ads. So then the perfect structure would be, hey, for this campaign, it's a discovery campaign. I want to find out which are the colors that I should be ordering more and that are working best. Whatever color is not working well, you can just very simply pause. So when it comes down to perfect, I think the answer there is, if I have a strategy, does it align with the strategy or not? For ranking, it's a different strategy than for discovery, than for protect, So, but ideally what we like to do is always advertise either one product, either if you have multiple products that are within the same color variation or so on, to be within the same price range. So if it's the 1 pair sock, $10, and the 5 pairs for $50, never go into the one campaign. Reason for that is because you're going to get a blended ACOS, and maybe it's going to be profitable for the high, like the $50 5-pack, but it's never going to be profitable for the 1-pack, that is $10. So I would be as organized as possible in a way that you can do it on a daily basis without thinking of it. That is the perfect structure when it comes down to creating any campaigns.
It's great. Fantastic, Naomi. Appreciate your time.
Sure thing.
And for the viewers, where can they find you?
Sure. So LinkedIn would be the best to find me. That's also how Sebastian and I connected initially, So LinkedIn is, I'm very active on LinkedIn. And also if you want to check out more about Scalewave and what we do here, just go to scalewave.io. That's scalewave.io, and just find out any questions that you have. You can shoot a message. When you're going to LinkedIn, you can find me by typing my name. So that is Noebolojan, and I am the only one that's going to pop up. So just send a friend request. Yes, send a friend request. Let me know that you found this Sebastian podcast, and from there, I'm just like more than happy to get engaged and chat.
I'll put all the link down in the description, the LinkedIn profile and the website detail as well. Do a PPC audit or anything like that, where to go. When it's the right person.
Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, guys. You're watching, and thanks a lot, Noemi.
Thanks so much. Yeah, and you have amazing viewers, amazing listeners. So thank you so much for having me again on the show. It was an absolute pleasure.